Welcome back. Right now I have the opportunity to speak with Dr. Schewe. He is the author of the new book called Bad Love Tigers. This is the second book in the Bad Love series. Dr. Schewe, thanks for joining us via Skype from Denver, Colorado.
It's great to be with you this morning. So glad to be coming to you from Golden, Colorado, right here in the Rockies along with you.
Yes, well, Golden, Colorado, just right outside of Denver. Actually lived there for a few years growing up. It's a great place. So thanks for joining us all the way from there. I'd love to hear more about you, Dr. Schewe. You're a radiation oncologist. You decided to write books. Why did you decide to do that?
Yeah, so I just started my 34th year in private practice of radiation oncology on July 1st. And I'm a history buff. As we get further along in life, we really pick up hobbies. So one of my hobbies is World War II history. And for the first book, I read the story of the Phantom Fortress, which was a World War II B-17 bomber that came into land in Kortenberg, Belgium in November of 44. But the problem was there was no plane scheduled to land, and it came in and landed anyway. And it sat in the field with its engines running, and nobody got off the plane. And so the British crews, they waited for like 20 minutes, and they thought, well, maybe the Germans are using it as a Trojan horse, or maybe everyone's dead and injured on board. So finally, they send this guy named John Crisp out to the plane. It's a true story. And so John goes out, gets on board. There's leather flight jackets on the floors. There's candy wrappers laying around, and there's parachutes lined up against the fuselage. Not a soul on board. And so that plane became known as the Phantom Fortress. It's like one of the Bermuda Triangle stories of World War II. And I read that story because I get all these history journals, and I thought, there could have been time travelers on that plane. And they might have just got zapped back in time before John got there. And it was like I got struck by a bolt of lightning. And so that's how the first book came to be. And I literally wrote that first book in 90 days. I was absolutely inspired. And so I've written articles for medical journals and newspapers and magazines. I've been a cancer specialist for 34 years. But this time I wrote a novel. And so now it's become a book series, and it's called the Bad Love book series.
And as an oncologist, did you always have stories in your head? You're a history buff. Did you always think you would write?
No, I mean, I have to honestly say that this has been like an awakening for me. And I've always, thought it would be fun to write, but I didn't really have a plan to do it. One of my breast cancer patients came in for follow-up the other day, and she said, Dr. Schewe, I know a lot of doctors who want to be authors, but I don't know any authors who want to be doctors. And so it's been so much fun to have this new beginning at my age and be writing books. And now the second one is out, and I'm actually 25-30% of the way there with book 3, which is going to be called Bad Love Beyond. And my publisher is hoping that we can put it out by Christmas this year. So I'm a busy boy writing books when I'm not practicing medicine.
Well, and your fans were thrilled to hear that you were coming out with book 2. Let's talk a little bit about this book, Bad Love Tigers. It's, as you mentioned, a little sci-fi, historical fiction. You've got time travel thrown in. This group goes with FDR. They head to World War II, Area 51. It's a great combination of all of these different elements.
Yeah, it's so exciting. So, they discovered the White Hole Project in the first book. And the White Hole Project is a time travel machine that was built in World War II at the insistence of Franklin Roosevelt by Albert Einstein as a backup plan to the Manhattan Project. So if Hitler would have got the atomic bomb first, we were going to use the white hole to go back in time and foil him. So this group of teenagers that accidentally discovers this, they've called themselves the Bad Love Gang since they were little kids, and now they're teenagers. So they learn how to use the White Hole Project. Well, in book 2, they're back from their first mission from book 1, and they're celebrating New Year's Eve at the White Hole, and they're all having a good time. And at the stroke of midnight, a Russian KGB agent whose name is Borya Krovopuskov, he ambushes the Bad Love Gang at the White Hole Project. And that's what sets in motion the plot for Bad Love Tigers. And so they don't know, should they go to the authorities or should they go back to talk to President Roosevelt about this breach in security of the White Hole Project, because he started the whole thing. So they decide to go back and talk to President Roosevelt, and Roosevelt decides that they're the best chance to preserve the integrity of the White Hole Project, and he sends them on an amazing epic road trip across America in 1945. And as part of the mission, when they finish their road trip at Area 51, by the way, they have to go to China in 1942 and volunteer for the famous AVG Flying Tigers, and under General Claire Chennault. So that's where the mission actually ends. But the road trip, you get to see America in 1945 through the eyes of modern teenagers. And all along the way, here's one of the things that's super unique about my book series. It has a 30-song soundtrack, and the songs are from the 60s and 70s. And so this group of teenagers are listening to that music as they take this road trip from Warm Springs, Georgia to Area 51. They go through Chattanooga and Knoxville and Indianapolis, Chicago, St. Louis, Kansas City, Wilson, Kansas, the Czech capital of Kansas, and then Denver, Colorado Springs. They stay at the Broadmoor Hotel, which is super famous and amazing. And while they're there, 4 of them are training at Peterson Army Air Base to fly P-41s for their volunteer mission with the Flying Tigers. So anyway, the book is filled with amazing history, and you get to see all these truly wonderful hotels in their heyday. You know, they stay at the Drake Hotel and the Brown Palace and the Broadmoor. So it's super fun.
We have your website on screen. We encourage our viewers to find out more about you, your history, your writing as a physician. You can find your books where books are sold. The series is Bad Love Gang, but this is Bad Love Tigers, which is the second book in the Bad Love series. So it's been an honor talking with Dr. Kevin Schewe from Golden, Colorado. Thanks so much for joining us, Dr. Schewe.
It's been great. I'm so glad to be with you this morning.
Well, we hope you'll come back when you publish book 3. So hopefully we will talk to you in just a few more months. We'll be back with more right after this.